Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm back. I'm back with another video, and this time I wanted to talk to you about the RBass plugin that I'm using on a lot of low-end material in my tracks. I love this plugin, and I wanted to show you why I love it and why I use it a lot. So here we go. I'm going to show you with this new track that I'm working on. It's still a draft for now. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I thought it would be a good example to show you how I use the RBass plugin, and especially on my kick drum and my bass line. So this is what it sounds like. So the low end consists of the kick drum and the bass line, basically 808 bass line. And I'll show you how I use this RBass plugin on both. So first let's look into the kick drum. This is the RBass plugin that basically has three things: your frequency range, you can choose which frequency you wanna boost, the intensity, so how much you want to boost it, and then the gain, just to dial back a little bit of the output in case it starts distorting too much and starts clipping, you can dial it back. So there you go. The reason why I love this RBass plugin is because it adds a lot of harmony to your low end. So it basically adds certain frequencies to your sound that creates a bit of harmony. And especially in the low end, this can make it sound much fuller, much more warm. It just gives a lot of body to your track. So I'll show you by playing the kick drum. Let me take off these plugins first, and this is what it sounded like before. So as you can hear, it sounds a bit thin. It does have a nice high end, the clicky, that can really help to make the kick punch through your mix. But I'm missing that kind of heavy low end that I love having in my kick drums. There's a bit of a trend where a lot of producers are more focused on their low end of their bass lines, and their kick sometimes doesn't really have that really punchy low end. But personally, I want my kick to really, sound, really heavy on a good sound system. Maybe that's just a personal preference. So, So first I added some low end using this SSL channel plugin from Waves. I've talked about this plugin before in previous videos. I love it because you can simultaneously cut certain frequencies and boost them at the same time, which gives you very interesting curves, shelves if you like, which you can't normally get by using a regular EQ. So as you can tell, I cut some of the lows here around 37 Hertz, and then I boosted around 53 Hertz. So I cut the low frequencies and boosted them at the same time. But the star of this video is the RBass. I wanted to show you how I add more body to my kick drum using this. So I'll play it without the plugin first, and then I'll switch it on so you can hear the difference. So you can tell it adds a lot of nice, warm, low end to your kick drum. And you could play around with the frequency range just to see where the sweet spot is, which frequencies sound the best when you boost them with this intensity fader. Yeah, and just play around with it and see what sounds best. So after this, I added a limiter just to boost the kick drum, and a transient designer just to give it a little bit more attack, to give it a bit more punch. Onto the bass line. For the bass line, I used Sublab, a great 808 plugin, which has a lot of cool 808s. I use this all the time. And as you can see here, I've added some distortion. Distortion, just like the RBass plugin, can really help give more harmonics to your low end. This is especially done on 808s when you can't really hear them on phone speakers, for example. You can add some distortion and it creates more harmony also in the mid-range, and it can really help to make sure you can also hear these 808s on your phone speakers. So a little bit of distortion. Oops. Go. So let's look at the RBass plugin. As you can see right now, it's on 63 Hertz. I thought without this plugin it was sounding a bit boxy, and maybe the distortion kind of took away some of the low end, but it sounded a bit thin to me and I wanted to give it more heaviness. Without. Please note that there is a bit of a volume difference. I turned down the gain a bit to make sure it wasn't clipping, but if you listened carefully, you could hear that it's giving this 808 a lot more body, a lot more heaviness, and it really makes it stand out and sound much fuller. And afterwards, I made sure to sidechain this bass line to my kick drum using track spacer. Just a little bit of compression to make sure that once the kick plays, that the low frequencies are being cut in the 808, to make sure that they're not interacting too much with each other and that they're not fighting for the same frequencies. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please let me know if you have any suggestions for other topics, anything I can discuss, and I hope to see you soon.